Welcome back for yet another Pokemon TCG Pocket tier list video. We got a pretty short one for you today. This time we're only going through the Steel and the Dragon types. There's so few that I figured I'd just put them together into the same video. We have our usual tiers. We have Solid, Mid, and just Don't Do It. Pretty self-explanatory. You can figure it out. But you know what? We're gonna jump right into it. So the first one for Don't Do It is gonna be a Mawile, unfortunately. The damage output is not high enough for a single energy attached to 20. And then you flip a coin. If heads, you discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, this can be kind of nice if you hit the heads. It's not the worst Pokemon to start with in the active when you start off the game, but overall, I'm not particularly sold that this is the best Pokemon to have in your deck. I'm not sure if it's worth it or not. I don't think that the coin flip is consistent enough to justify it, and with 70 HP, you can get pretty easily knocked out. So I would say just pass on it. The next Pokemon that I put on that same tier is Melmetal. The issue is, though I do like the basic for this guy, he's got a single energy attack that attaches energy from your energy zone, so you end your turn with 2. The problem I have is that if let's say you go second, you use the attack, and then you attach, and they have 2 energy, you go back to your turn, and then you pass over. You have such low HP that the opponent's going to get a hit on you before you evolve. And then by the time you finally get all the energy you need to get Melmetal cooking, you probably already have so much damage on him that it's not going to be able to be used, or he'll get KO'd on the way to attach energy. I don't think it's consistent enough unless the opponent really is messed up. Maybe it's worth putting on the bench and charging it up, but 4 energy charging by hand is just too much. I don't think it's worth it, which is why it's in the don't do it tier. If they create a better way to get energy on metal Pokemon later, this guy will jump up. I think 120 is a great amount of damage, but as of right now, it just isn't doing it. Next up in the mid tier, we have Bisharp. He's kind of cool, 90 HP, stage 1, 2 energy for 70 damage, 1 retreat cost. Fairly normal, not too bad. Reminds me of Sand Slash that we looked at earlier in a different video. It's okay. It's very average, and that's why it's in the mid tier. And, I, I don't think there's actually a solid one today, boys. I'll be honest. I see Dragonite. It is a tricky one, because the attack is actually interesting. It's, basically, you get 4 energies on this guy. One of them has to be lightning, one of them has to be water, and then you get 4. One of your opponent's Pokemon is chosen at random 4 times, so it randomly selects 4 Pokemon, or it could be the same Pokemon 4 times over, and it does 50 damage for each of it. The thing I like is that you're always doing damage. The thing I dislike is you can't choose the target. The thing is, with the board being so small, it is fairly reasonable to say you're going to be hitting a lot of your targets, assuming they only have 2 or 3 guys on the bench. It's not too unfeasible, and the damage output you have is pretty darn high. So once you get this guy rolling, you'll be doing a lot of damage. The thing that is tricky is that you need to get a lightning, you need to get a water energy on this guy for him to actually do anything. So you kind of have to hope that your energy zone is giving you what you need. I was going to put him in the mid tier, but the more I think about it, I think it is reasonable enough to put him into solid. He's got good HP. The attack damage is good. You could pair this with something like a Zebstrika to try and clean off the bench for anything you missed, or you could just run it again if you survive a hit. I think there are ways you can play this, and I think there are interesting ways you can make a deck using Dragonite. It just is a little bit more tricky, and the energy attachments can be rough, but the payoff for that 4 energy attachment is pretty darn good. So you know what? I'm going to put him in the solid tier. I think that people can mess around with this and find a good way to do it, and I'm going to believe in that. So he's going to solid. And that'll wrap up the tier list for today. It was a fun one. Thanks for coming by. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.